MC Wicks, coming out of Fresno, California. Been MCing for like 12 years now. Trying to stay consistent out here, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's what it is.
You born and raised in Fresno?
Born and raised in Fresno, man.
Okay, that's what's happening. Who raised you?
I was raised, I was lucky enough to have both parents, you know. But my mom and dad split when I was really young, so my mom raised me for the majority of my life, but...
Like what age did they split?
They probably split maybe, I might have been like 7 or like 8. I was like really young. But they split, but the one thing I'm always like, I appreciate my dad when he was around, because he would, he rest in peace too. I appreciate him when he was around, because he would always bring me and all my brothers and sisters to like, he'd always make us all like come to the living room, and he would just drop game for like hours and hours and hours and hours of game. Like sometimes like he would be saying like real knowledgeable, like good things that you need to hear like coming up. And sometimes like my ears would turn off eventually, because I'm like, damn, this is like 40 minutes deep. But a lot of that stuck with me, and you hear a lot of that in the music today, you know, a lot of like wisdom and knowledge I kick down, it comes down from him. Like he gave me a lot of knowledge that I kept with me in a short amount of time, and like we made peace and stuff before he went, but yeah, rest in peace, man.
What's up, rest in
But yeah, my mom, she held it down. She been holding it down.
As a kid, like what were you like as a kid? Like just growing up, bad as fuck?
Yeah, shit. I was always was quiet. I always wanted to like create something, you know, cause like with them, going back to them, like the surrounding was like the east side of Fresno, hella grimy. You know how it is. Like you see tweakers, you hear gunshots and shit, and then like that's on the outside, but on the inside it was like a bunch of domestic violence and a bunch of like drama and stuff too between like my parents. So like my surroundings always been were like kind of like dark and kind of like messed up, and I always was like, I always wanted to do art, because I felt like it's almost like a superpower. You could create something and put it into the world, and you could create something positive or negative, and you can make something beautiful and put it out into the world. Like your surroundings don't gotta define you. I think as an artist, your surroundings don't gotta define you, your art defines you. And I didn't want my surroundings to define me, so I always wanted to do art, and I tried
music first, or as a kid was it like drawing, or would you want to be a fireman?
See,
as a kid, I'm saying
question.
like let's say 12, 10.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good question. It was actually I was drawing a lot, and that was like, it wasn't that good and stuff. And then I tried to go into like graffiti, because I got into hip hop, and I was like not too good at that either. And like I got a funny story. I'm gonna say this funny story.
All right.
I remember the last time I did it, I was I just did like a little tag on the wall, and you know, like when you're walking down the main street, there's like a bunch of like blocks, and like every corner is like a block you could like run into, you know. But so for some reason on this street there wasn't no block I could run into, and I didn't see the cop, and I did it like right there in front of a motorcycle cop. So he turned on the siren, and this is hilarious. He turned on the siren, and I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I gotta run. And I was like running as fast as I could with all of my heart and all of my soul. And like, I was really trying to go hard like an athlete. And all I remember was me like running really fast, and him being behind me like, he was like this, all slow. And I finally got to a block, and I ran into it. And he's like, stop running or I'm gonna tase your ass. And I was like, ooh. I'm a big ass target, and I'm already tired. I'm gonna get tased. So I was like, I got caught, and I'm like, I'm too big for this, man. All these, I'm not sneaky, and I'm not. Right then and there, I'm happy that happened, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be a criminal. I can't run away, and I can't be sneaky. I'm not that guy. But that happened, and then I was like, I gotta go in another route. And then like a month or two after that, there was a cipher at Yosemite Middle School, and I wasn't really a rapper, but I was like, all right, I'll jump in, I'll freestyle, and I killed it, man. And I got like a bunch of reactions, and praises through like self-expression, and it tripped me out because I was really quiet, so I wouldn't think that my art form would have to do with like public speaking or like being verbal, and it worked. And it was like going against the grain to kind of how I was, and ever since then I was like, I don't gotta run from no police, and I don't gotta risk nothing, like, really. So I just stuck with rap after that. Right. I focused heavy on it.
That first self-gratification shit, the fans, the people giving you props, that kind of drove you.
Yeah.
To want to do it more.
I think it drove me on a more personal level. Is like,
you already liked hip hop or rap before at that time?
Oh yeah, around that time. But the main thing I think was like, I don't know, man. I kind of raised myself in a sense, even though I have parents and stuff. Like, my mom, she would always be, it was like abusive or whatever. I never really talked about this on camera, but I got respect for you, so I'll give you guys a real story. But it was like abusive, so my mom got used to like not wanting to speak or say anything. She was always afraid she would say the wrong thing, so she like, over the years, would kind of just lock herself in her room and like just stay there all day. And then my pops was around doing like player shit, and then like I had older brothers and sisters, but they're like teenagers, so they're all running around like doing their party stuff or whatever. So like a lot of times I was just like kind of stuck on my own, and I had to learn a lot on my own. And I think through music and art, that's another family. Like, I consider like these hip hop people that I met and the supporters over the years, it's like a second family tree. And I think that's what I like. That's what really kept me doing it. I was like, okay, like, I'm with my hip hop people now. Like, it's good. I got a second family right here.
That's what's up. So how do you go from the ciphers at high school to the studio and putting music out? Like, how did you make that transition? Who did you meet? What took you to that route of it?
My first ones I had like this karaoke machine. And I know a lot of people made their first tapes off karaoke machines in the tape era, but this was like more modern. So you could put a SD card in it and it would make it MP3. And you would have to perform your song beginning to end. One take, no punches, no nothing, like perform it live. And you'd have to hold the mic right, obviously, if you wanted to sound good. So I did like maybe like 5 little CDs like that, and I'll like pass them around my school and around my neighborhood and stuff for free. And then I linked up with the homie Snoop the One from Dope Productions. He had a little homie that was going to McLean with me, and he slid me the number. And I hit him up and we started working. My first mixtape, the first mixtape I ever had a release party for, the first thing that's, I would say like street official, because it wasn't on like iTunes and stuff, but it had artwork and I was like moving it heavy for a long time. It was called Still in the Struggle, and the majority of it was recorded at Dope Productions. That's where we're at today. And I appreciated him a lot, because when you're not known and you don't got like a buzz or anything, or you don't got someone directly connected in the music, it's hard to like really get into a studio. Everyone kind of stays to themselves and their own circle. Everyone kind of got their own clique. But with my boy Snoop the One, like, it was strictly business, like, and there was never no ego or no weird stuff. Like, a lot of weird stuff happens behind the scenes, or like people get mad or arguments or like little petty beefs. But with him, it was always strictly like business, and he had great equipment and he had great mixing skills, and it was just simple. Like, there was no extra to it. That's the way it's supposed to be. So big ups to Dope Productions for that. So you working and you're doing the music. When did you decide that you was MC Wicks? How'd you get the name? Oh man, that's crazy. All right. Well, when I first started rapping, I don't know why, but for some reason I like horrorcore music a lot. Like, I like Brother Lynch, and there's a guy named like Necro. Those are like the main ones. And I was like, I don't want to be wicked. That sounds like, that's, everyone's been wicked, and that sounds like some like Mexican gangster shit kind of. And I'm like, I'm not that. So I was like, I can't be that. And I was like, I don't want to be insane. That's too simple. And I was like, nobody got Wicks. That's kind of like a weird kind of like, it's supposed to be mean wicked. I just want to say it in another way. So I was like, Wicks. And then I put the MC in front of my name, even though I started rhyming in '08 and there wasn't like, that's like an 80s kind of thing. But I was influenced by like the golden era. So, and I wanted to put it in my name because I wanted to live up to it. If you don't know, MC means move the crowd, microphone controller, master of ceremony. And if my name was like Gangster Freddy, I'd have to be hella gangster. Like if I wasn't gangster, then they're gonna be like, why is gangster in your name, Freddy? What's going on, Freddy? So I was like, I gotta put MC in my name because I gotta live up to that. I gotta be dope every time I'm on the stage. I gotta always be on point. I put that in front of my name just to set the bar to where it needs to be. And that's what it is. Like, I guess MC Wicked in a sense, when you break it down.
So fast forward from there, you doing music, you dropping mixtapes, you popping up at events around town, getting your name known, right? You do this song, man, about fat girls, and that motherfucker goes viral. Everybody looks up, and they see you on World Star Hip Hop, which is like fucking CNN for rap shit. You know what I'm saying? And you're relatively unknown to the rest of the world. You popping in the city already, but you're unknown kind of to the rest of the world, and that brought you a lot of other attention from around the world and shit, because they think there's just about to be some funny shit. But a lot of people was like, yo, this motherfucker can rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, tell us about how that shit happened and when you saw it go viral and all that.
Man, that was crazy. Well, I used to always do freestyles, like just to stay sharp on my phone at the time. And then my phone was like messed up for a little bit, so I got a new phone and I was like, dope, I could finally do some freestyles again. And I heard this instrumental by Redman called Smoke Buddha, and I was like, I already knew that it was gonna be about like, I was like, the topic got to be fat girls, so I'm like, this is gonna be funny. And the first 4 bars of that song, I kind of wrote them, but in my head, like I didn't write them on pen and pad or nothing. But I had like the first 4 bars, and after that, everything was freestyle, and I was like, this is hilarious. I didn't know it was gonna go viral. I was expecting it to get 5,000, maybe 10,000, like locally people would like it. So I recorded like 7 versions, and I picked the funniest one and the best one, and I uploaded it, and it got 5,000 really quick in a couple hours, and I was like, oh shit. That's what I thought the top was gonna be. And then I was like, oh well, it'll probably slow down. And then it had like 20,000 out of nowhere, and I was like, that's kind of crazy. And then all I remember was this, like, I went to sleep, and then I woke up, and then it was like 100, like 200,000 or 300,000, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I was like, you could look on the shares when people share videos on Facebook, and you can see who shares it. And I gotta shout out this guy. He's from Compton. His name's Al Compa Negro. And he's a black dude from Compton, but he sings Spanish. And he shared it, and that blew me up. And a lot of shout out to him, because I got a big fan base and a big following in Los Angeles right now, like Boyle Heights, and the Latin community out there, they rock with me heavy, and that opened a lot of doors. But he pretty much shared it, and after that, it just skyrocketed. But it was definitely a high, and I was like, I knew how to capitalize on it, so I just went harder and just kept dropping content after that. You know?
So did it hit World Star after he shared it, or
yeah, because we tried to send it to World Star when it probably got like 200,000, and then they were like, they didn't care about it. But then when he shared it, it took maybe like a month, and then it had like 500,000, and we put it on. And this is what I learned about the internet game. We wrote them an email, and it's like 500,000 views on Facebook. And if you ever get 500,000 views on anything, when you email anyone, tell them that, because here's what happens. Whatever platform gets you 1 million views first, they're gonna put the name of the platform before the artist. So if you World Star wanted me to get 1 million on World Star, so they would go, that's that World Star rapper. It's good for their branding. So once we did that, like maybe like 30, 40 minutes later, they was on there, and it was after that it's a wrap. It was
That's
good.
What's up, bro?
Yeah.
Congrats on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause it brought people to your shit. And gave you a way for other motherfuckers to peep all your shit. You know what I'm saying? Even though you just was fucking around with a dope freestyle about fat girls, it made people realize like, yo, this motherfucker is dope and got other shit. You know what I'm saying? So congrats on that. I also saw you've done a few battle raps, like battles, you know, like real hip hop battles against other rappers. Like, how do you like that as much as being a recording artist, or that's just some shit you dabble with part time, or what?
Man, it's kind of crazy. It's hard for me to choose, but I'll get into like why I did that though. The reason I did that is because, like I said earlier, with Snoop and Dope Productions, I was rhyming like hard and super serious. Like immediately I took this serious. I didn't like people play around for a few years. I was like, immediately I wanted to do this. So I remember being like 15 and I was like, man, I wish I could do a show. I gotta wait till 21. That's like a long time. And I was like, I want to get in front of people. I want to get in front of crowds. Like, I want more than just a cypher. And they were doing battles at the park. Shout out to Power Respect MC Battle Lead. But I went out there and I kept doing that, and I kept moving up the ranks. And out here how it works is you start off in your local lead, and then you go to LA, and then if you do like really good, like 6-7 battles in a row, they got the little lead, the middle lead, and then after the middle lead, then they'll take you to Canada. And once you get to Canada, that's when they'll pay for your room, and they'll give you money whether you win or lose. And if you start doing good out there, then like you're pretty much a star. So I was moving up the ranks, and I got my first battle in LA, and then I had to really think, what do I want to do more? I was like, do I want to be, because once you're known as a battle rapper, the music's kind of out the game, because there's a negative stigma that battle rappers can't make music. So I had to think, what do I want to do more, or what makes more sense? And I picked music because with battles, you do your verse one time, and that's it. You get the bag one time, the battle's done, and it's one time. But with music, I've seen Slick Rick perform stuff he did in the 80s, and he's still getting, I don't know how much he charges, maybe 5 racks a show, maybe, just me guessing. Getting 5 racks from something you wrote decades ago, compared to getting a bag one time for one battle.
Right, because you can't go back and re-rap that battle.
Yeah, you can't do it twice. It's just like one time and that's it.
Right.
So I thought music made more sense, and I love them both for different reasons, but music just made more sense and it was more logical, so I had to pick it. But there is no better feeling than like, when you're like roasting someone like really bad, and the crowd is just going crazy, and like, it's just like a slaughter, man. Like, there's no better feeling than that, but I had to pick one. I had to go with music.
Okay. Dream feature. If you could do a joint with anybody in the game, past, present, dead, alive, whatever, just what's your dream feature to have on your project or for you to be on their album?
I would have to say right now, a lot of my favorite legends like are not around, but the one that's living, I think would be Ghostface Killer. Yeah, that would be crazy. I got a lot of my vocal influence came from him and Big Al, because a lot of rappers, like the cool rappers, when you hear them, they're like, oh, these fools got like deep voices, and I'm like, I sound like Mickey Mouse. I'm like, how am I gonna how am I gonna sound like Mickey Mouse and make it sound fly? And I remember hearing Big Al, and his voice was real sharp, and Ghostface was real sharp, but he was like styling and fly with it, and like he had like a little street element too. Like it was kind of classy and kind of street at the same time. So that would have to be Ghostface. But locally, I'll just throw this out there. I want to get a joint with Fashion and Planet Asia at some point. I think that would be tight.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Let's move from the features to producers, man. Dream producer. Like, whose beat would you want to be on?
I'm gonna say 3 people. Jake One, Madlib, and DJ Premier. Yeah.
Yeah, all 3 of them.
Those would be the ones. Yeah.
You got a new album coming out, Ghetto Artsy.
Yes.
Out now on.
It's on Bandcamp. mcwicks.bandcamp.com, and it's gonna be on all streaming platforms, from Apple Music, Spotify, Amazon, and all that.
Which album or project is this from you? What number?
I think it's 11 or 12.
Oh, you've been putting in work.
Jeez, I don't know, man. I think it's number 11.
Okay.
I gotta look.
That's what's up. You've been putting in work.
Yeah. I barely looked at the timeline the other day, and from 2014 to 2020, I made 7 albums.
Damn.
And then I did like little, like, I don't consider them real things, but I did like this thing called Wiki Smalls, and I rapped over like 5 Biggie beats, and then I did like another one, 40 ounce tribute, where I'm just rapping about malt liquor and 40 ounces and rapping over like gin and juice, like rap songs that have to do with alcohol, but like a mixtape version, and I just did my own thing, and that's like 4 songs. But 7 like full bodies of work. And from 2014 to now, yeah, crazy.
That's what's up. So where do you rank this one, the Ghetto Artsy project, with the others?
Shh. Man, this one, and I don't know how to, I don't want people to not believe me, because I say every time I have a new album out, it's the best one, but, and I do, but I believe it every time I say that, but this one has to be the best one. Like, it's not ego talking to me about this one. Like, I feel like it's facts talking to me about this one, because I had a formula for all my albums in the past, and my formula was this: I'll do like 3 deep songs or conscious songs or slow or more serious songs, and then 7 just raw bangers, MCing, battle rap kind of stuff. And I'll do that because I feel like if your album is filled with too much deep stuff or too much slow tempo stuff, it could either get boring or sad. And I always try to avoid that. So with my track listing, I'll put like 2 bangers, then a deep one. I'll just sprinkle it in. But this one, I didn't really like structure it so much. I just kind of let it go like natural. And at the end, when I counted the songs, it's 14 songs. And I label them. I'm like 7 deep songs and 7 bangers. That balance is 50-50. And this is the most mature album out of all the albums. I just turned 26, so now I'm at a level where I'm not real old, but I could talk about past, present, and future. And that's like a whole nother power, you know. I got more to talk about now, so I think it's good.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's real good.
That kind of played a role in what you titled it?
Ghetto Artsy. The reason I wanted to call it Ghetto Artsy is because I hang out with all walks of life. And I'll hang out with like my artsy friends, like the hipsters and downtown people. And then once in a while, like, I'll have like a little ghetto moment. And then they'll be like thrown off by like, what the hell? What's going on? Like, it'll make them like change their face, or they'll be thrown off by it. And then when I'll hang out with like my people that like are more involved with street stuff, I would have like say some artsy stuff or like something poetic in the middle of a conversation randomly, and then they would look at me like weird. So I was like, that's what I am. I'm half ghetto, I'm half artsy. And I was like, I need to show both sides. And I think that's why the balance of this album is so good, because I was like, I need to shine a light on both sides heavy. And that's why I called it Ghetto Artsy, you know.
Dope title, dope artwork. I listened to it, man. It's a dope project, you know what I'm saying? So everybody that's listening now, make sure you go check it out, man. MC Wicks Ghetto Artsy. Any shout outs you want to give?
Yeah, shout out to Tim Osmond and Ocho Studios. Shout out to Snoop the One, Dope Productions. Shout out to Planet Asia. Shout out to Fast Sean. Man, shout out to GTL. I'm trying to think. There's a lot of people, man. There's so many people I could name. I gotta say shout out to Full Circle Brewery, man. And the reason I want to shout them out is because I've been on the scene for a lot of years. And what I notice is the hip hop will have a home at a venue for maybe like 2 or 3 months. And then they'll just like blackball us and cut us out completely. And then we'll jump to another venue and then they'll cut us out completely. And I guess it has to do with money. They're not getting the right numbers for like hip hop out here locally. But Full Circle Brewery has been rocking with hip hop and hip hop events like way longer than a lot of venues, like consistently. And I'm gonna start throwing shows over there called Fresno Jungle. And I always wanted to do a showcase in the past. But I wanted to have a home that I knew that was going to last and have longevity. I don't want to have to restart every year. And I feel like as soon as the state opens up after this coronavirus, I feel like local hip hop has a home and I'm going to do some good stuff with them. Shout out to Full Circle Brewery.
For sure, man. Appreciate you getting down with us. This is Diego Red for We Hear You. This has been MC Wicks. Peace.
Peace.